The bear is one of the symbols of the Bulgarian mountains. It is also an emblem of the Central Balkan National Park. People have always been interested in the bear as a representative of the European predatory animals. Nowadays, people keep thinking of the bear. A lot of them believe it would be quite an exciting experience if they come across a bear in the woods. The bear has an extraordinary memory, almost supernatural quickness of mind, and a lot of other human qualities. So people have been keeping an interest in it for hundreds of years. The bear, like the human, eats everything. It sits, walks, and cries like a human. From a geographical point of view, the cult of the bear is widely spread. Many of the ancient people had a great respect for the bear as a master of the woods, a messenger of the supreme rule of nature, or as an important judge. In the past, they believed that it can come back to life after its death, and this had led to a lot of ritual cults. These cults are well expressed in the idea of transformation of bears into humans and vice versa, or love between a bear and a human, even in some mystical relationship between bears and humans. The Balkan folklore is full of legends, myths, and festive dances. Documents dated back to the 12th century show that Bulgarian people did not use its fur for clothing or coverings. They also addressed the bear using names that show family relations like grandma, aunt or father, as well as people's first names like Stana, Pena, Medun or Meca. According to the folk calendar of festivals, Blagovets is the day when the bear puts an end to its winter lethargy. There is another day in this calendar connected with the bear, and it's November the 30th, which is called the Day of the Bear. The bear is a very adaptable species. It can live in quite different and even severe conditions of life. In Central Balkan National Park, the bears find shelter in the beach woodland of Botin, the gorges of the rivers Zavodna, Kumanica and Trža, in the caves of Steneto, and the inaccessible dark recesses of Gendemite. The size and the weight of an individual brown bear depend on its age, sex and genes. The color of the fur is different, but it is usually brown or grey-brown with shades of sandy yellow to black. The bear is not a very sociable animal. It is hot-tempered and likes to live alone. It also does not like contacts with other animals and in fact has no rival in the wild nature. All investigations in the Central Balkan National Park show that 75% of their food is grass, berries, fruit or insects. They build temporary sleeping places in summer, but those places show no effort on the side of the bear. In case there are rocks around, the bear prefers to build its den in them. These dens are usually up in the woods and very rarely in the lower parts of the mountains. The dens are most often in caves. According to the law of the biological variety, the brown bear is a protected species. It has a special legal status. On one side, it is a rare kind in Europe, and on the other, there are quite a lot of brown bears in Bulgaria. The brown bear is under very strict regime of management. You can find it in certain international agreements, the CITES Convention, or the Convention of the European Council concerning natural locations. There are more than 700 bears in Bulgaria. The areas that are under protection of the government are quite important for the genetic survival of the bear. The largest European population of brown bears under protection is the Central Balkan National Park. Central Balkan National Park is one of the safest refuges of the bear in Europe. The bear inspires with awe and respect. People living in the vicinity of the park, as well as those who come to visit it, have to know the habits and behavior of the bear. The Balkan population of brown bears is the third in number in Europe. About 200 bears, which means more than a quarter of the brown bears in Bulgaria, live in the Balkan mountains. Central Balkan National Park is the place where they are best presented.
Поради консервационната значимост на кафявата мечка, парковата дирекция възложи разработването на програма за мониторинг на вида на територията на националния парк. Разработената програма е част от вече разработената система за мониторинг на биоразнообразието на територията на националния парк. В разработената методика за кафявата мечка е предвидено типизиране на мечите местообитания. На основата на типизирането на мечите местообитания ще бъде извършено определянето на плътността на вида в различни участъци от територията на парка. Прилагайки методиката, парковата дирекция ще разполага с богата база данни за състоянието на вида на територията на парка по отношение на численост, разпространение, възрастова и полова структура. На основата на наличната информация, парковата дирекция би могла да предприема правилните управленски решения за опазването и съхраняването на този величествен хищник.
A lot of strategies have been worked out to join the life of the bears and the aims of the park. The law forbids chasing and hunting of bears or any other animals in the park. The distribution of the bear usually depends on the type of woods and grass, as well as on the relief and the anthropological factor. The bear has its specific place in tourism. Having in mind all this, it is very important to have a very careful attitude towards this species so that it can survive on the Balkans.
Към този вид националния парк е така подсилено и в екопътеката, която се намираме. Затова специално място е отделено за мечката, която е символ на националния парк. Това е една интерактивна табела, която позволява на всеки да научи най-важното и най-интересното за този вид. Тя е поставена не случайно на това място. В миналото, може би, това е бил домът на една от всички тези господарки на планината. В момента домът е необитаем, но надяваме се някой ден и това да се случи.